I want to start with a simple truth. The way a person treats you is the loudest, most undeniable expression of how they see you. It's not about grand gestures or poetic words whispered in the quiet hours. It's about the small, everyday choices that either build you up or wear you down. And when someone doesn't value you, you don't have to go looking for the signs. They're right there in front of you. So let's talk about 4 behaviors of a man who doesn't see your worth. Not because we need more reasons to be disappointed, but because naming what hurts us is the first step in healing. We've all heard the words, "I love you," before. They come easily, sometimes too easily. They can be whispered in the quiet of the night, scribbled in a last-minute birthday card, or texted between meetings. And for a moment, those words can feel like everything. They can feel like security, like warmth, like home. But words alone are not enough. They never have been. Because love, real love, is not just a sound that rolls off the tongue. It's not just a sentence you say when the moment feels right. Love is a verb. It's movement. It's action. It's something you do, not something you simply claim. You see, anyone can say they love you. Anyone can string together a few syllables that sound sweet. But what truly matters is what happens next. What happens when life gets inconvenient? What happens when you need them, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard? What happens when their love requires effort, sacrifice, and commitment? Love is not just the beautiful words spoken in candlelight. It's in the way they show up for you when you're exhausted, when you're struggling, when you feel unworthy, and they remind you that you are more than enough. It's in the way they listen, not just hear, but listen because what matters to you matters to them. It's in the way they follow through on their promises, not just because they said they would, but because they understand that trust is built in the small, ordinary moments. Love is in the way they support your dreams, even when it's inconvenient. It's in the way they hold space for you, making sure you never feel like you're fighting your battles alone. It's in the way they remember the little things, not because they have to, but because loving you means knowing you deeply and intentionally. And love is also in the way they respect you, because love without respect isn't love at all. It's in the way they refuse to make you feel small, how they celebrate your victories, and how they never make you feel like a burden for having emotions, needs, or expectations. On the other hand, if someone tells you they love you but never follows through, if they make promises and break them, if they show up only when it's convenient, if they say all the right things but leave you feeling empty, then that isn't love, that's just performance. Real love is shown in effort, it's shown in commitment. It's shown in the way someone chooses you not once, not in passing, but every single day. So don't be fooled by pretty words without substance. Don't settle for promises that never come to life, because the love that is meant for you, the love that is real, deep, and lasting, will never be confined to words alone. It will be something you see, feel, and know without ever having to question it. Disrespect doesn't happen by accident. It's not something that just slips out in a moment of frustration or exhaustion. It's not a misunderstanding, it's a pattern, a reflection of how someone truly sees you, how much they value you, and ultimately what they believe they can get away with. At first, disrespect can be subtle. It might look like a dismissive comment, a joke at your expense, or an eye roll when you express your feelings. Maybe they interrupt you in conversations, cut you off, or make decisions without considering you. Maybe they forget important things, not once or twice, but repeatedly, as if your needs are an afterthought. And when you bring it up, they brush it off. You're overreacting. I was just joking. Why do you always make a big deal out of everything? But here's the truth. Disrespect thrives in the space between your discomfort and their excuses. It grows stronger every time you let it slide, every time you second guess yourself, every time you choose to keep the peace instead of demanding the respect you deserve. Because here's what you need to understand. Someone who truly values you will care about how they make you feel. They will want to make things right when they realize they've hurt you. They will apologize, not just with words, but with changed behavior. But someone who doesn't respect you, they will dismiss, deflect, and defend. Instead of acknowledging your feelings, they will try to make you doubt them. Instead of taking responsibility, they will turn it back on you. And if you keep explaining why their words or actions hurt you, they will keep pushing the boundary a little further each time, testing just how much you're willing to tolerate. That's why disrespect isn't a one-time thing, it's a pattern. And patterns don't break on their own. So pay attention to how someone speaks to you, how they treat you in public and in private, how they respond when you set a boundary. Do they listen and adjust, or do they ignore and push back? Do they make you feel safe, or do they make you question your worth? Because at the end of the day, respect is not something you should have to beg for. It's not something you should have to justify or prove you deserve. The right person will give it freely, not because you demand it, but because they genuinely care about you. And the wrong person, they will keep disrespecting you for as long as you allow it. So the real question isn't whether they understand what they're doing, it's whether you're willing to keep excusing it. There will be moments in life when someone, maybe a friend, a partner, a colleague, or even a family member, will try to make you believe that your worth is something that can be debated, something that is conditional, something that depends on how much you give, how easy you are to deal with, or how well you fit into their expectations. Let me be clear, that is a lie. Your worth is not a bargaining chip. It is not a contract with fine print. It is not something that another person gets to determine, alter, or take away from you. Yet the world will test you. You will meet people who make you feel like you have to prove yourself, like you have to shrink, adjust, or constantly be more patient, more forgiving, more agreeable, just to be seen, to be loved, to be valued. And at first, you might do it, you might bend, compromise, and twist yourself into a shape that makes them more comfortable. But let me ask you, at what cost? Because every time you allow someone to treat you like your worth is up for negotiation, a small part of you starts to disappear. You start to believe the false narrative that you are only as valuable as what you can offer, that love is something you have to earn, that respect is something you have to fight for. But that is not the truth. The truth is your worth was never meant to be something placed in someone else's hands. It was never meant to be conditional on how much someone else approves of you. You are not valuable because of what you can do for someone. You are valuable because you exist, because you are here, because you are human. And let's be honest, people who try to make you question your worth are not people who truly care about you. The right people, the ones who genuinely love and respect you, will never make you feel like you have to convince them to see your value. They will see it on their own. They will treat you with kindness, with consistency, and with respect, not because you demand it, but because they know that's what you deserve. But the wrong people, they will take what you give and still make you feel like it's not enough. They will make you feel like love, respect, and appreciation are things you have to earn through sacrifice. And that's when you have to remind yourself, I do not have to prove my worth to anyone, because your worth does not change based on who chooses you or who doesn't. It does not decrease because someone fails to see it. And it certainly doesn't disappear just because someone treats you poorly. So when someone tries to make you question your value, don't argue, don't plead, don't lower your standards just to fit into their narrow definition of what makes a person worthy. Just remember who you are, Stand firm in it and walk away from anyone who tries to make you believe that your worth is up for debate. There is something about silence that makes people uncomfortable. We crave closure, explanations, and understanding. We want words to fill the spaces of uncertainty, to reassure us, to make sense of what we feel. But here's the truth. Silence is an answer. It may not be the one you were hoping for, but it is often the most honest one you will ever receive. When someone truly cares, they communicate. They show up, they clarify, they make an effort to make things right. Love, respect, and genuine connection do not thrive in avoidance, inconsistency, or unanswered messages. They grow in effort, in presence, in the willingness to have the hard conversations. But when someone consistently meets your feelings with silence, when they disappear, when things get difficult, when they refuse to address problems, when they leave you in a space of unanswered questions, what they are telling you is that your concerns, your emotions, and your presence are not a priority to them. That silence is saying, I don't care enough to explain. I don't value you enough to reassure you. I don't see you as important enough to give you clarity. And yet we often try to translate silence into something it's not. We tell ourselves maybe they're just busy, maybe they're overwhelmed, maybe they don't know what to say. And sure, there are times when silence is a result of someone processing their emotions, but let's be honest. If someone values you, if they truly care about you, they will find a way to communicate. As they won't let you sit in confusion. They won't let you wonder where you stand. Because here's what you need to remember, silence is a choice. And it speaks volumes. It is a form of communication just as much as words are, and often it is more revealing than the excuses someone could give you. If someone wanted to be there, they would be. If they wanted to talk, they would find a way. If they cared, you wouldn't be left guessing. So instead of filling in the blanks with hope, instead of chasing after someone who refuses to give you clarity, step back and listen to what the silence is telling you. Don't mistake absence for mystery. Don't mistake avoidance for complexity, because the right person will never make you question your place in their life, and the wrong person, they'll keep you hanging in uncertainty while you convince yourself that silence means something other than what it does. But deep down, you already know the answer. You just have to be brave enough to accept it. Love is not just about attraction. It's not just about laughter, passion, or shared experiences. At its core, love is about safety, not just physical safety, but emotional safety. The feeling that you can be fully yourself without fear of judgment, manipulation, or abandonment. Yet so many people treat emotional safety like an afterthought, like a privilege instead of a necessity. They stay in relationships where they feel anxious more often than they feel at peace, where they are walking on eggshells, constantly wondering if today will be the day things explode, if their emotions will be too much, if their partner will withdraw affection the moment they express a need. But let me be clear, emotional safety is not a luxury. It is not something you should feel lucky to have. It is a fundamental requirement for any healthy, lasting connection. Without it, love is unstable. Without it, trust begins to erode. Without it, you are never truly free to be yourself. So what does emotional safety look like? It looks like knowing that when you express your feelings, you will be heard, not dismissed, mocked, or made to feel guilty for having emotions. It looks like being able to disagree without the fear of silent treatment, manipulation, or punishment. It's knowing that if you're struggling, your pain won't be turned into a weapon against you later. Emotional safety is feeling secure in someone's presence, not because everything is always perfect, but because you know that even in difficult moments, they won't belittle you, gaslight you, or make you feel like you're unlovable for having needs. It's about being with someone who makes it safe to communicate, who listens to understand, not just to reply. On the other hand, emotional instability is when you never know where you stand, when you are constantly unsure of how your partner will react, when you feel anxious about bringing up your needs because you don't want to start a fight, when their love feels conditional present one day, withdrawn the next. And here's the truth. When you don't feel emotionally safe, it's not just in your head. Your nervous system knows when something isn't right. That feeling of tightness in your chest, that overthinking before you send a message, that hesitation before you share your honest thoughts, that's your body telling you that this environment isn't safe for you. Love should not make you feel like you're in survival mode. It should not leave you feeling drained, anxious, or constantly questioning your worth. The right person will make sure that even in the hardest moments, you feel secure. They will make it safe for you to be vulnerable, to express yourself, to exist without fear of rejection. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are constantly justifying why someone makes you feel small, unheard, or unworthy, I want you to ask yourself this: is this the kind of love I deserve? Because emotional safety is not a bonus in a relationship, it is the foundation. And without it, love is just a house built on sand, something that will crumble the moment a storm comes. Love is not supposed to be a guessing game. It is not meant to leave you lying awake at night, dissecting every interaction, wondering if you said too much, cared too much, or expected too much. Love, the right kind of love, does not leave you questioning your worth. But too often we find ourselves in situations where love feels like uncertainty, where one day we feel deeply cherished and the next we feel invisible, where we give and give, hoping that if we love someone hard enough, they will finally see our value, where we tolerate inconsistency, broken promises, or emotional distance because we believe that if we just hold on a little longer, things will change. And yet, real love, the kind that is steady, deep, and true, does not make you feel like you have to prove your worth. It does not make you earn affection, nor does it make you feel like you are always one step away from losing it. The right love makes you feel safe. It reinforces your value rather than making you question it. What does the right love look like? The right love is consistent. It does not run hot and cold, showering you with affection one day and pulling away the next. It does not make you feel like love is conditional, something you receive only when you are perfectly accommodating, perfectly agreeable, or perfectly small. The right love sees you fully, completely, even in the moments when you are struggling, insecure, or imperfect. It does not make you feel like you have to shrink yourself to be accepted. Instead, it holds space for you. It embraces your depth, your complexity, your emotions. The right love respects your boundaries. It does not guilt trip you for having standards or make you feel unreasonable for wanting to be treated with care. It does not twist your words or make you feel selfish for asking for reassurance. Instead, it honors your needs because your well-being matters. The right love communicates. It does not leave you hanging in confusion, waiting for clarity that never comes. It does not punish you with silence when you express your feelings. Instead, it makes the effort to listen, to understand, to meet you where you are. The right love makes you feel chosen, not just in the easy moments, but in the difficult ones too. It does not make you feel replaceable or like an afterthought. It reminds you over and over that you are valuable, not because of what you offer or what you do, but simply because of who you are. What the wrong love feels like, if you are constantly questioning where you stand, if you feel like you are always trying to earn love, if you feel like you are walking on eggshells, hoping not to say or do the wrong thing, that is not love. That is insecurity, confusion, and emotional instability disguised as connection. The wrong love makes you feel small. It makes you doubt yourself, makes you wonder if you are too much, too sensitive, too needy. It keeps you waiting, waiting for them to call, waiting for them to care, waiting for them to finally see what they have in front of them. But let me tell you something. Love is not meant to leave you waiting, because the right love will never make you feel like you have to chase it.